Hey y'all, welcome back to Liam's Tips and Tricks. Tonight we're going to go over experience and ways to go about getting it in your quest for getting to level 80. The first 60 levels are actually quite easily completed simply by doing weekly missions. Weekly quests are the best way to go up until about level 60, and then in the 60s and 70s the XP that you get off the weekly missions drops down drastically. I'll actually show you the numbers for what it takes in the upper 70s a little bit later. That is, weekly quests are straight up your best bet starting off, and of course just doing adventure stages. You'll actually get early on you'll get a significant amount of significant percent of your experience from just doing repeat battles on stages. As you get higher, of course, the higher your XP requirements, the lower the percentages. So it becomes a little bit more. It becomes a whole lot slower later on. So the most difficult part is getting the upper 70s done, and I'll show you specifically later. One thing to keep in mind, pretty much the whole time as you're leveling, I would go ahead and, when you get your rest reward, go ahead and just grab it for experience. Every single time that your rest bar is full, and you get your experience, it'll be 7% of whatever it takes for you to get to your next level. So, as an example, 147,975 is exactly 7% of what I need to get to level 78 on Drimara here. Let's see, other options include in the guild shop. If you're in a guild that's level 10 or higher, you get access to the experience chests. I'm going to show you that real quick. There we go. Now, one thing to note is in the description here, when you look at it in the guild shop, it specifically says that it gives 3,000 XP plus XP equivalent to 2% of your current level, but that's not actually accurate. When you purchase those, like I will do right now, and they go to your inventory, I already have a stockpile of these in my inventory, but once you actually purchase them and it puts them in your inventory, the description changes. And it says use this to gain 3,000 XP plus XP equal to 6% of your total current level of requirement. And it actually does give you 6% of what you need for the next level, and that's a huge difference over just 2%. So even just one XP chest gives you almost as much experience as 100% rest reward. Additionally, other methods of getting just the base options. I'm not even going over extra bonuses yet. But the other best way to get XP is to get honey jams from fishing. And you can only get these if you use either the classic bait or the pro bait. Classic bait you buy for 3,000 gold each. Pro bait actually costs 10 gems each. Of course, you can get a few of those for free, either in the guild shop or from the wheel. But in my opinion, it's definitely worth buying a whole bunch of classic bait and just using it all, say, at night. Because you get the honey jams. The regular honey jam gives you 1% of your current level and 1,000 XP. Now, early on, up until you're in the 60s, this really isn't going to give you much. It's only 1% of what you need. But as you get higher and higher, that percent starts making a huge difference numerically. So I'll start going over the numbers here for specifics, just to give you an idea of what you're looking at as far as totals. Okay, so going over the math, I'm level 77 here on Drimara. So I basically have about 2.5 levels left to go. So what I'm going to do first is, like I said, that rest bonus, basically what we're going to call it 148,000 XP, is 7%. There we go, 38 to 45% of my level. So keeping in mind that that was 148,000 just to get to 7%, if you take an A grade weekly quest, which are, like, if you recall early on, up until level 60, it's actually a pretty significant amount of XP just as you're leveling up. But once you hit the upper 70s here, one A grade quest is worth 12,676. So, considering it was 148,000 for 6%, this is not even 1%. It's actually about 0.7% of what you need for a level. So, that's why numerically the weekly quests just kind of don't work out very well for as far as leveling. But you still need to, in my opinion, you should still do the weekly quests. The other thing is, in adventure stages, as you see, 1,862 XP. So, just to get that to equal the amount that I had for the rest reward, I would literally have to do 60, like about 60 of this stage just to get the 7% that I got from the rest reward. So obviously you need to do a lot, either sweeping or actually doing repeat battle. So, okay. Wow, I'm not sure how that happened, but for whatever reason, I just did one, as you just saw right now. I'm not sure how I managed to do that glitch, but I just did one clear, and it gave me 149,819 XP, which is more than I was supposed to get. Let's see. There we go. That's what I expected to see. Well, 1,862. Alright. So, I'll try and figure that out later. Oh, that's why. For whatever reason, that somehow toggled my rest reward. Okay. That was a nice weird glitch. Alright. So, 1,862 XP for doing the stage with no additional bonuses, but I have gear that gives me stage XP increase, so there's 18.4% higher there, and here I've got another 7.9%. So now let's go do that stage again and see how much we get. 1862 is the base, 2,352. So, if you do have gear that gives you an experience bonus, obviously it will help out. It just depends on how much bonus you've got. You do also have the option of purchasing a guild buff. This guild buff here, development. Depending on what level your guild has enhanced it to, determines how much XP you get. Like, this is our alt guild, so we don't really focus on it too much, though it only gives 4%, which is really not a lot. Alright, so you can get this 4%. Let's go ahead and see how much I get from that stage with that extra little 4% bonus. There, 24, 26. So not horrible. And also there are occasionally events where they will give you an extra bonus for both gold and XP, like 20%, 30%, I think is the highest I've seen there. So, going over the numbers, as I said, clearly your best options for leveling up once you hit the 70s are the XP chests from your guild, if you have your guild to level 10. If you don't, then you'll definitely want to do fishing with classic bait. I have done literally tens of thousands of classic bait, and I have all of the numbers for it, so I'm going to make a video dedicated to fishing, hopefully sometime in this coming week. So I'll go over all the percentages and what actually, why I believe that using classic bait is the best, and what you will actually get out of it. And obviously these honey jams are one of the most important things, but you do also get lots of other things. As you can see, all of my shellfish down here, the goldfish, the clownfish, etc. But strictly speaking, numerically, the honey jams and the XP chests are going to be what push you to 80 fast. So I would definitely say save up, and what you want to do is you want to wait until you have enough of those items to be able to push you right to 80. In fact, I believe I've got enough to get Drimara there now. So I'm at about 77.5, so I need 2.5 levels. 38 times 6 that'll be a little bit over 2 levels, and then I've got plenty of honey jams, so I want to show you how this goes. By the way, when it comes to buying XP chests from your guild, you can buy a max of 3 per day per character that's in that guild. So if you have multiple characters in the guild that's level 10, then by all means, I would definitely say buy those and stock up. So it's only 90 guild coins per character. That's really easy to get now. There we go. So let's see what happens. There we go. 79.5. 54.3%. So I don't want to use all of these because obviously that would totally overshoot it. And it was 54.3%. I get a little bit of extra bonus from these, so let's go for 45 and see where that takes us. There we go. Right to level 80. 77 to level 80. And I had 38 of the XP chests, which if you have only one character in the level 10 guild, it will take you at least like 2 weeks to get there. But I mean, realistically, that's not bad. There we go, and well, I hope that helps. Hope you learned something today. If you, as usual with any of my videos, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, want to go over something more in depth, need to throw a correction my way, feel free to leave me a comment below, and I will answer it directly in the comments, or I will feature it in the next video if I believe it's a really important thing that I've just totally missed, or it needs a lot of attention. So, and just give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe, share, whatever. And thank you for watching, and happy hunting. Hope you all have a wonderful night.